Yeah, this is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go!
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
No Sean on this show, but it's
Why?
fine. We had Jimmy Carr instead.
Yeah.
How
so
good's that?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also talk about heavy sleepers and what they slept through. They're really funny.
The monsters that bring their own stuff to restaurants, like an avocado to go with their breakfast, even though the restaurant sells avocado.
We asked the question, do we sound tinny? We might as well chuck that in there, wouldn't we?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Sure.
And
sure.
also, I'll tell you about the wonder, which was Marley Morris's birthday.
And we caught up with our mate Harry, who normally is pressing the buttons for us. But yesterday, he was at the MCG for the massive Carlton-Collingwood game.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
As we know, it was Marlene's birthday on Saturday.
Darlene.
I remembered it.
Congratulations.
That is half the battle. And
Well,
it's amazing.
for you just had a real black spot with
Yeah.
it. Like, if for
Yeah.
some reason
Yeah.
you couldn't, it didn't register.
Dad set like 40 alarms on
Of
his
course
phone.
he did, yes.
Like all day I was going, Marlene's birthday, beep, 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 beep. It's like, okay, we're here.
So did Brian do the traditional go down and get her a cup of coffee from the Wild Bean?
No, he didn't. The Wild Bean's gone.
Oh my God.
To make room for the apartments for Karen Up Shopping Centre.
So what's Brian to do?
So Brian actually, I went to Kitchen Warehouse and bought them one of those Italian coffee brewer
No,
things.
sorry,
that you
I
put
asked
on
what
the thing,
Brian
no.
did.
No, yeah, and Dad actually makes Mum a coffee now.
Oh,
like
okay,
a proper
right.
coffee that he puts on the stove. And
So does he do that every day?
oh no, he complains about it. He says
Okay.
he told her to come out and learn how to do it herself. he
only
said.
when it's
learn
her
how to do
birthday?
it yourself. He says he goes to Coles and gets her coffee now, and they've got a coffee machine there. And then Dad's sometimes they have free coffee days, and Dad goes back
Of
about
course.
3 times.
Yeah.
and then or he'll get like 3, and then he'll take them over for Mum, and then Mum will put them in the microwave during the day to heat them up. Anyway. So
They living the dream.
so I go around there with a giant bunch of flowers, right?
Yes.
And as soon as I walk into the house, Dad announces very loudly, attached with a lot of swearing, that's a waste of effing money. As I'm even before I'm about to hand them to Mum, before Mum goes, oh my God, they're beautiful. And then Dad just went on about what a waste, you're an idiot. What'd you get them for? And I thought, well, for her.
And also to make him look bad.
Yeah. So then I also got Mum a bag of chocolates, right?
Sure.
So all these like different Lindt chocolates that I knew that she'd love. And before I will put them in the kitchen, Mum's got the flowers, and next minute I look into the kitchen, Dad's going through the bag of chocolates. Before Mum's even opened
Well,
it.
you wanna
Dad's
get the
looking
good
in
ones.
Unbelievable. So then we go to this place called Chich Small Bar, which is sort of they do burgers, but they do a lot of Macedonian meals as well,
Sure.
and they've got an amazing chicken parma there. So we go there, and Dad right at the start of the meal is realising that there's probably not going to be any takeaway leftovers, which throws him in a little bit of a fizz.
Yeah.
So
So he ordered some more things so you
yes,
left
so we ordered more things so we could take them home.
Because I take it you were paying?
So we got a couple of Macedonian meals that Dad could take them home. And Louis, who owns a restaurant, he was like very hesitant about sending us home with these
Yes.
things because they don't do them as takeaway.
No.
They're sort of cooked in clay pots.
Yeah.
So he was very like, I don't want the quality of the
Yeah,
meal to
he's
be done. And, you
yeah.
know, let me know, Nathan, 20 minutes before you're about to leave and I'll bring them out hot. And I said, mate, he'll put it in the fridge for 2 days.
Yeah.
So do not worry
more.
about it.
It's probably in the freezer now.
Do not worry about that.
Forever.
But then my favourite thing was, when parents are out and they decide they want to talk to people about parent things, and they say target this young waitress that works there, and she's training to be an orthopedic surgeon. And so Mum is talking to her.
So the waitress is the smartest person in the room.
Yes,
by a
the
long
waitress
shot.
is amazing, right? So we're having a chat with her, and then Mum just starts endlessly naming doctors that used to work in Kalgoorlie and whether she knew them or not. And I said, Mum, she's like 25.
I'm surprised she wasn't asking her for advice about her knees, to be honest.
Yeah, no, the knees were brought up. All
I
of it
bet
was
they
brought up.
were.
Then Dad's chiming in, and then you can just see this poor chick is inching away,
Yeah.
trying to inch away from the table. But Mum and Dad got her on a line. They're pulling her back in like they're deep sea fishing. And it's just like, and the poor girl, and then I finally said to her, you can go now, go
Yes, go
now.
now.
Go now, run, go now.
Run, save yourself.
Anyway, it's a great birthday. She had a great
Anyway,
time.
Starlene, happy birthday.
And the waitress is still running.
Of course she is.
Ready to make up for missed holidays with whatif.com?
Well, you got to love an Aussie winter getaway, but bring on spring.
Jump on the What If app to book hotels, holiday rentals, flights and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Jimmy Carr's bringing his Terribly Funny tour to Australia. He's going to be playing Mandra, of all places, plus several shows at Riverside Theatre in Perth in early March. Tickets from bonepresents.com. Mr. Carr, good morning.
Well, I can't believe your luck. I'm I'm a little bit disappointed that Sean's not there, but I'll make do, I guess.
I know you would love sport, right? Love talking about football, Australian rules football.
Australian rules are frankly the only rules. That's the only rules I care about. I don't know. South Sydney Rabbitohs. Go Rabbitohs. Sure.
Close.
Jimmy, I have to go through this every morning. Every morning there are 2 sports reports, and sport's not me. So I just fling crap at it and see what sticks.
Right, sure. I mean, just, go local sports team. I don't know who it is in Perth, but go Perth. I tell you, well, I'm doing a lot of press. I tell you where I'm playing, right? I'm doing the Riverside gig in Perth, and they sold, I think maybe something went wrong with the COVID vaccine, and it got into people's brains, and it's affected the way people think in Australia. The long and the short of it is I've sold a lot of tickets.
Oh, mate.
So something's not right? So I've sold out the Riverside. So now I'm playing the Perth RAC Arena.
Oh,
are you?
That's where they play. That's where they play the basketball.
I've sold out. Now, in a controversial move, I'm going to be doing a stand-up comedy show, not basketball.
Wow.
It's something a bit different. I don't have enough friends to play basketball, so I'm just going to be telling jokes to people. But I think it might be fun. I think it might just work.
Yeah, and I do love the warning that you got to give people, and that is, comedy is supposed to be funny, so leave your morals at the door. And because we really connect with that, Jimmy. So us as a group, our team, some of the stuff we say to each other, we don't realise that we're monsters until someone else gets brought into it and we see their facial expressions change. My favourite thing about you and your comedy is when you just start slagging off people in the crowd because it's so funny and they're really excited to get roasted. My question to you is it hard for you to switch that off because you tour so much when you just go out into the world? Is your automatic thing just to start roasting strangers or people at a cafe, or how is that?
Yeah, I think it is. That's my kind of default mode. Yeah, and if people can't take a joke, it's great, right? It's kind of, for me, it's self-selecting, right? So if people can take a joke, great, they laugh, and if people can't take a joke, we were never gonna get along. We were never gonna be friends. I don't need them in my life. So the people that I'm joking with get that it's a joke, and the people that take it seriously genuinely can F off.
And also, that also then becomes the joke, right? Yeah.
Win-win.
Yes.
Win-win.
Do you have any friends at all, Jimmy?
But I mean, it's that thing, though, where you go, I think that's what Australia kind of has in common with Britain. Like, if someone can't take a joke, it's kind of the worst thing you could say about someone, right?
Yeah.
It's like if someone can't take a joke, you go, oh, really? This guy? The worst.
It's, you know what it is? It's go woke or go broke, what everyone's saying at the moment. And you're the most unwoke person that I know. But yet you are. I think that
I'm rich. I'm rich, baby.
Yeah. But I don't think, you're not a bigot, you're not a racist, you're none of those things. And you wouldn't. And I know that you don't support any of that. But yet your jokes are so out there. People understand. If you go online. People are treated like they're idiots. People won't get that it's a joke. People get jokes are from the head, not from the heart. Yeah.
This isn't hate speech. These are jokes, and it's fun, and
words that
people
are funny.
Laughing, and I wouldn't have a career if there was anything hateful in it. It's there's no agenda here other than come out and have a laugh. And actually, after the last couple of years that people have had, there is something to be said for being in a room with other people with the same sense of humor as you and feeling that sense of kind of community. For a moment, even more so than music, being out at a comedy show is a little bit special. Making, it's going to be, 10,000 people in that arena, making them all laugh at the same time. It's an involuntary noise, the laughter, the motion. I'm basically like an international drug dealer, right? I'm traveling the world. The drug that I deal in is endorphins, which is, it's the best drug there is. It's dopamine, right?
Yeah.
It's the same stuff that's in cocaine. And border control cannot touch me for it because the drugs are on you. I just get there, tickle them out, I take the money, and I run away. It's perfect. It's the perfect crime. Is what I'm involved in.
Yeah, it is. What I love about you, Jimmy, is that you are prepared, as well as dishing it out, you do cop it. And I mean, you alluded to there, you're going to make a lot of money. And famously, everybody gives you stick about having trouble with the tax man. And you always...
Well, this is why I'm coming to Australia.
Yeah, right.
Australia it's offshore for me.
Next show's in the Cayman Islands. Yeah.
And unless I've made a massive miscalculation, I'll be fine. Yeah, I had some issues with my tax affairs. I mean, listen, I'm the only person I know that would have been better off financially taking advice from a Nigerian general over email. You want to know? I'll level with you if you're interested. Do you want to know how much money I saved in tax?
Yeah.
You want to know how much I saved?
What?
Nothing, despite quite a lot of effort on my part.
Is it really hard to do a tour where everyone has to pay cash at the door so there's no paper trail?
It's the only way to do it. I mean, I'm not doing it in the arena, the RAC. I'm just doing one show that night. But I'm in the Riverside Theatre. I'm doing 2 shows every night.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's one for me, one for them. That's how I think of it. One for me, one for them.
I know
You take this, I'm keeping the rest.
I know John Cleese says he tours every time he gets divorced because he's got a divorce to pay for. What are you saving up for?
I mean, I live pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
But really, the touring's just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
I thought you might buy a
Yeah,
village
like-
like Ed Sheeran is or something
The
like that.
the problem with touring is work is more fun than fun. That's the issue with my job, right?
Yeah.
If I have a night off and go out with friends, I'm pretty sure none of my friends are listening to this right now. I hope not. But I mean, it's more fun for me to be at work than out with friends. That's a terrible thing to say, but it's just true.
You
It's
need
just
better friends.
I kind of get halfway through dinner and go, I hate the way 2,000 are laughing at me. This is boring.
Yes, yeah. I want 10,000
Yeah.
people laughing at me, yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Hey Jimmy, can you tell everyone? I've been doing a deep dive into just some of the shows that I love about yours. I last year got a chance to drive a Tesla, and I was very excited about it. And then I saw you tell your story about how you came to own a Tesla. Can you give everyone?
I know. I own a Tesla. Okay, so I went to a shopping mall near where I live, which is called Westfield. It's a huge shopping mall, and they've got garages underneath. I was in there. I had nothing to do. I'd had something to eat. I'd had a coffee, and there's a Tesla garage in the shopping mall, right? So I was kind of amused by the idea you can now buy a car at the mall. So I go and I start chatting to the guy. He recognized me. He says, "Do you want to go for a test drive?" I went, "Yeah, great." So me and the missus are test driving this, and they're the Tesla X, I think it's called. It's the one with the
Uppity
it's got,
doors.
the suicide doors, like something from Star Trek, the whoosh
Yes.
doors that lift up at the back.
Yeah.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was test driving the car. Mrs. is next to me. I think it's great. It's like a go-kart. I don't really need a new car. I've got a Range Rover. So we're driving this thing. I'm going, it's fun to drive. I like it. We go around Shepherd's Bush in West London, and then we go back into the Westfield shopping centre, which is huge, and we get lost in the car park. Like a tourist. We get lost in the car park, and the guy from Tesla is sitting in the back, and he goes, whoa, stop the car. I'll move those cones over there, and then the charging station's just on the other side of those.
Yes.
I say, no problem. So whoosh, the door goes up. He gets out, moves the bollards. Now, I'm famously a very nice guy. I'm a stand-up guy. I'm a gentleman. So I go to, the guy's 50 yards away. He's just moved the bollards. So I go to collect him so he can get back in the car. And bang! I take the door off the Tesla. There's a gantry above
Jimmy.
that I haven't noticed. I didn't realize the door was open. There's no wind inside this place. I take the door off the Tesla, and it's not fully off. It's hanging by one power cable. So it's like the Terminator. It's not dead yet, but it's nearly dead. And it's coming off the back. And the guy's jaw, pretty much hits the floor. And I wound down the window. Which was still working, and I let my head out the window, and I said, "I'll take it."
But he said,
And then I added, "Not this one.
Not this one."
This one is
Slightly damaged.
this one's a write-off, my friend."
and now you know what? And now that I've always said it right, if you make it in the world, you need a car that has uppity doors.
Yes, that's right. And Jimmy's proven that.
And now you've got a car that's got uppity doors.
Well, it's one uppity door.
And also, uppity doors, Jimmy, if you made it in this world, you've got an uppity doors and you've got an ice maker inset in your fridge and the water dispenser. That to me means you've made it.
I don't know if I've got an ice maker in the fridge, but I'll ask my staff and I'll get back.
All right. Well, if you want Jimmy Carr to have even more money, come and see him.
Oh, I want him to have more money. Bring
that's
cash.
right.
Bring cash.
BohmPresents.com, that's BOHM presents.com is where you can get tickets to go and see
Yeah.
the great man. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jimmy.
Okay, and love to Sean. I hope he gets through whatever's happened. I'm
Genuinely
a lot
worried.
of guys his
Yeah.
age. No, I think it's very rare. It's very rare to take a day off with erectile dysfunction, but
I
you
know,
what?
it's so
It-
weird.
Yes, I
yeah, but you
know.
know what? If you can't
But-
get it up, then you
listen.
can't get up, apparently, and come
that's
to
right.
work. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
100%.
All right. Bye, Jimmy.
I love your work, Jimmy. Thanks, buddy.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Here in Perth, we are really good at driving cars into properties.
It's extraordinary, isn't it, the number of times a car hits a house?
It's unbelievable.
Because there's a road.
Yes.
And it's not the house moving into the road.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
When I was growing up in Kalgoorlie, there was a guy named Ricky who we went to school with, and he lived on the right on the corner of an S-bend, and there will be a car going through his lounge room every second week.
So it was essentially just speed, people hitting that curve too fast. Yeah.
yeah, literally. And I think they moved their lounge room because, like,
Turned it into a garage. Just seemed more practical.
it happened all the time. Well, this is pretty amazing. There's been some injured teenagers that have had to have surgery from over the weekend, but a Subaru WRX crashed backwards into a Piara Waters house.
Extraordinary.
Now, it reversed sort of through the front wall of the property and crashed into the front room, so it was all cracked and stuff. Emergency services spent hours rescuing the kids who were trapped in the wreckage.
Yep.
Like, so there was trucks,
Sirens,
and police, and rescue
ambulances,
people,
the whole thing.
absolutely everywhere. The homeowner, Ronwyn, she was in disbelief on Saturday morning because she realised that she had slept not only through the crash, but the entire aftermath when the police, firefighters and ambulances arrived on the scene. She woke up at 6:30 a.m. on a Saturday.
Oblivious.
Yep. And then she discovered messages from the police advising her of what had happened. She said, I got up to this. And she went outside of her property and she showed the aftermath, as you would think, of everything being taped off and broken things and stuff after a
So
giant
broken
crash
glass,
like
bricks
that.
everywhere.
Yeah, debris everywhere. Clods of grass ripped up by the vehicle's tyres. The roof collapsed.
So, and they were trying to rouse her. So they were knocking on the door to see if there was
Yes.
anybody home, and there was nobody home.
Yeah, so she said, I slept through it all. I'm normally a light sleeper, but I'm telling you, I never heard it. When she emerged to inspect the front of her house in the morning, she was expecting to see damage to her front yard, not the front bedroom where her daughter usually sleeps when she visits. She says, the car was taken away and they were all gone. This was cordoned off. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. When police showed me the photos of the car, I couldn't believe it. Apparently, the firemen and everyone was trying to see if there was anyone in the house, but they thought no one was here. I was so shocked that I heard nothing. What did it sound like? This is them prying the car off of her house.
That's one thing. The initial impact
Impact.
must have been enormous, and the noise of that would have been
And they
enormous.
were gently prying it off. So that,
Yeah,
was,
that's
that
right.
was them gently prying it off. So the impact would have been unbelievable. But Ronwyn slept through the entire
Ronwyn, who
thing.
says she's normally a light sleeper. Are you? Are you?
Which brings me to this story. An Ethiopian airline pilots, they've missed their landing because they fell asleep in the cabin. I cannot believe that two pilots, are they allowed to fall asleep at the same time?
Are they
Wouldn't it be-
allowed to?
Wouldn't it be a one on, one off?
Oh, that's a good system. Of course they're not allowed
I don't know. I don't know.
No, they're
So
not
it
allowed
is
to.
one on, one off.
Correct. On a
Well,
long
that-
haul
okay, well,
flight,
that makes me feel a
one
lot
pilot
better.
is allowed to rest, and the other one's supposed
I mean,
to
as
stay
if your
awake.
flight's going to leave anyway if you're catching Qantas these days. So who even knows?
I mean, well done to Ethiopian Airlines for getting away.
So the pilots, they were woken by an onboard alarm that began blaring when the plane passed the point of descent and the autopilot disconnected. After nearly 30 minutes. 30 minutes of this beeping. The disconnect whaler woke the crew up, who then manoeuvred the aircraft for a safe landing on a runway, but they sort of missed where they were landing.
They had to turn around and go back.
30 minutes.
I mean, when you're on a plane, you just assume that somebody in the cockpit's awake.
Well,
you know?
well, I'm glad it's a rule. That's good.
I love that you had to check.
We want to know, heavy sleepers. What did you miss?
What did you sleep through?
Yeah.
And it was substantial. It was
Oh, yeah.
something of
I mean,
note.
like, you know, it was pretty full on. Like, you should have woken up.
Yeah.
Fun that.
All right, this one's for you, heavy sleepers. What have you missed because you were fast asleep?
Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We're talking about the things you've slept through because you're a heavy sleeper.
Yeah. Let's go to Claire and Aluka. Hi, Claire.
Hey.
All right, Claire. So what happened?
So my husband, I was obviously late to my own wedding because that's a woman's prerogative.
Yeah.
I got there late. He was there early. He fell asleep in the back of the wedding car and completely missed. We stood at the front of the altar for 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Did no one know where he was?
And then someone went back. No one could find him. They went to the toilet.
He's done a runner.
Yeah. And then the registrar said she had to leave and she had to organise a second registrar to come and cover her.
You missed your wedding because he fell asleep.
Claire, did you think that he had done a runner?
Yeah, I did think he
Yeah,
done
you
a runner.
would.
Were you crying?
No, I wasn't crying, but
didn't care that
I was
much.
Because she
trying to
saw
hold
a
it
few
all
other
together.
prospects
Yeah,
in the
that's
crowd.
right.
That's groomsmen's, all right.
Amazing. Thanks, Claire. Karen, hello.
Hi, how you going?
All
Hey,
right.
good Karen.
We're inspired by the girl that slept through a car ploughing into her house and then all the, relevant emergency people around. She didn't hear a thing. What did you sleep through?
I slept through an earthquake.
Tell me more.
So a friend of mine and I, we were in Bali a few years ago and there was an earthquake. I have no idea what size it was, but I woke up in the morning and I was like, I dreamt that the room was shaking. She was like, that's funny. I dreamt I was shaking. And then we had all these messages and phone calls from family going, are you two all right? What's happening? We haven't heard from you. And apparently, there was a pretty reasonable earthquake and the two of us were dead asleep through it.
Karen,
So-
how many
many bin tanks?
bevies did we have in our body during that night's sleep?
We may have had a few bourbons beforehand.
Sure,
Mate,
sure.
you know
I mean,
what? I mean, seriously, when you're over in Bali, you know what? That's the only place I will say you can sleep through a hangover. That's the only time I've seen my mum really drunk. She drank she didn't realise how alcoholic they were. She drank 2 jugs of Harvey Wallbanger.
oh, what could go wrong?
And then she woke up screaming in the middle of the night because she thought her legs were rolling up and hitting her in the back of the head.
I hate it when that happens because that is a thing that definitely happens to people.
Yeah, well, Marlene's awesome, so...
Yeah, well, there you go. You're in good company.
Karen can relate.
You're in
right?
good company.
Thanks, Kaz.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Imagine being so fast asleep that a car crashes into your house at speed,
Yes.
does a fair bit of damage, and then people are hammering on your door. There's rescue crews, everything, the whole lot.
Yep.
And then you had no idea till you woke up in the morning. And
That
then
happened on the weekend here in Perth.
Imagine saying, I'm usually a light sleeper.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
We are talking about what heavy sleepers may have missed. Neil's in Lansdale. Hi, Neil.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, Neil. Now, Neil, is this you?
It is me. My girls are in the car and they said I've got a ring. So.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Yeah.
give it to us.
Okay, I was working security down south around the Mug River region, and there was one accommodation block I was looking after that kept on getting broken into. So me and another guy said, you know what, we can set up our own little sting here. We're going to catch this guy
Stakeout.
or girl, whoever
Yes.
it is.
Love it.
One night we had an accommodation block set up. I had a handbag and all that on the table to make it look like there was someone living there.
So you put bait out to trap them. This is brilliant,
Oh,
Neil.
God, yeah. I did the whole
Yes,
lot. And
yes.
the problem was my mate was on the top floor looking down
Yeah.
to see if anyone came in the back door.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to sit on the stairs.
Yeah.
So if they come in, I said, we've got him. And they're going, great. Problem was, during the night, both of us fell asleep. And the guy broke in while we were both asleep.
So did
So
the
he's
guy,
tiptoed past you.
walk past you while you were sleeping, do you think?
Pretty much. He would have walked in and gone, what the hell is this bloke doing? He must have had a big night and didn't get all the way up to his bedroom. the
Neil,
poor bastard.
you had one job, Neil.
I did have one job. I don't do that job anymore, but
Probably
I did
for the
have one
best.
job.
But Neil, I could just imagine it. There's the handbag, and above
Yeah.
it's a giant basket ready to fall on him to catch him. And here's Neil
Yeah,
asleep
yeah,
on the
it was-
stairs
With his
while the guy
butterfly
walks
net.
past him.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, we did catch the police did catch him, and he had the handbag we'd set up. So at the end of the day, obviously, good got the better of bad.
Yeah, no thanks to you,
That's
Neil.
great,
no
Neil.
thanks to you.
That's great. You know
That's
what?
great.
Your kids are right. You should have called us.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Robin, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hi,
Great,
good, Rob.
Okay, what happened?
We were doing our, it was burn off season, so we were cleaning up our front paddock. And before we went to bed, we made sure it was all out and everything, went off to bed. And the wind whipped up during the night and started the fire up again. And it got in our front fence.
Yeah.
and all the verge down to the road. We ended up with 9 fire units out the front. There were sirens.
Yes.
There was people trying to call us. All the rest of it, never heard a thing until we got up and left to go to work the next morning.
And you're like, oh, that all looks a bit black.
Is this like this yesterday?
Yeah. What are those flames? Oh.
This is weird, isn't it? Guys, come out here and have a look.
Did you know you were such a heavy sleeper before this, Robin?
No. I complain about, any noise wakes me up, but not
It doesn't,
sirens.
as it turns out.
Robin, that would have been so confusing waking up and then imagine that. It was like, has the apocalypse happened?
Yeah, exactly. There were fire engines with their sirens on. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried that, if the fire alarm goes off in the house, we're not going to hear it.
No, you won't hear a thing.
You are dead.
But
the end.
we like a live Robin, so don't let that happen.
Yeah, we do.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
All right, so yesterday at the MCG, there were 88,287 people, and one of those
Was a tall drink of water.
is our own Harry Fitzgerald. For what was an epic battle, Carlton versus Collingwood, the game that had everybody in the country watching. Harry,
Well,
how
not
was
everyone.
Very thirsty for a tall drink of water, guys.
Yes.
I'm parched, Harry, so give us a big gulp. How was the day?
The day was electric. We started off at the Corner Hotel in
Classic.
Swan Street, Richmond.
Yes.
Made our way to the G across Punt Road. The fans were going nuts already, and then we roll in. Basically, sorry about the motorbike, sellout crowd. Place was going bananas.
So Carlton had a lot on the line, like they had to win to stay in the 8.
Yeah, so the Bulldogs game was going on just before or during, and they beat the Hawks, which put everything on the line for Carlton. Carlton pretty much has blown the end of their season. Last week they lost to the D's in a thriller as well. And, not many happy Carlton fans yesterday. They were up by 24 points at three-quarter time.
Yeah, home and host, you would have thought.
Absolutely. We were pretty confident the result was going to one way. We actually had to get to another commitment.
So, Harry, so you left the MCG
So
before the end of the game in what was one of the all-time great games.
The cherry on top of the season. They always say the best to last. And it's halfway through the fourth quarter, and we made the tough decision to leave the MCG. People could not believe what was going on. Like this, a former Carlton player we were with, Bill Buckley, hooked tickets up, and he was like, "What
are you doing?
What's going on?" We had to get to Bounce though.
Oh,
So-
that football show?
No, the trampoline park.
Oh.
we had to get to Bounce to sit in the live audience for the taping of Bounce.
Yeah.
And
Worth it?
when you've got Andrew Gay saying "turn it up," right in front of you, it's all worth it.
We've seen the social media of you, Harry, looking directly at the camera while sitting in the crowd. We're talking about the tall drink of water, but you've never looked more thirsty for attention.
That's it. The producers at the start of the show, you've got the guy warming the crowd up. He's like, "All right, guys, not many rules. Get loud. Whatever you do not stare down the lens."
You know what? I hate a live taping. I hate
Yeah,
being
it's
an
awful.
audience of live
It is
taping.
like a hostage
They
situation.
force you to clap. They make you look happy.
You can't
you're not.
leave.
I was at The Voice one year, and they literally said there was several of us that had to go to the toilet. This one girl was busting; she was about to wet herself, and they said, "No, get back in your seat." We're like, and I went. And I felt like I needed to stand in for her like a lawyer, and I said, "No, she has human rights.
That's right.
You can't tell her she can't go and urinate. This isn't like you don't have any. You're not a boss of us. What
you're
is
not
this
paying us
about?
to be here, that's
Everybody,
for sure.
everybody in a live taping is usually
Yes.
pretty angry.
Well-
So what was the vibe like?
Oh no, everyone was loving it. We were contributing well to the crowd noise. But the other funny thing is, we were with another bloke who saw the rest of the game and then got to Bounce. We had ages.
Oh, so it was entirely possible you could have done both.
Absolutely. with about half an hour to spare.
Yeah, but you know what? You're Perth people in a different
that's
city.
right.
We don't know the traffic. We don't know the rules. You know what I mean? Anyone
that's
else
right.
can be fly by the seat of the pants, but not us. We're planners, Harry.
I'm very punctual as well.
We're
I don't
planners.
like to be late.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
All right,
everybody.
thank you for that in-depth
Yep.
report of the great
Yep.
result
Yeah,
yesterday.
you can watch Harry in the crowd of bounce. He's the one looking directly at the camera every time it pans past him,
cheers, guys.
hoping to get
We'll see you
discovered.
tomorrow, Harry. Come back to work, please.
Catch you later.
Good man.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Well, Sean's not here. We don't know
No,
where he is. So,
But we've got a lot to talk about with this man, Steve Butler. Good morning.
Yes, very good morning, Nathan Nathand.
well, we
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
right, exactly.
We don't know who he is. We don't know where he is. We knew that. We heard that. We didn't really even just talk to him about it. We heard that he was having the Monday off, and that was it.
And nobody had any follow-up questions. Steve,
I presume it's just post-Devo what happened to Fremantle.
yeah, perhaps them slipping out of the
Oh,
four.
so what? When a win's a loss?
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
It was an extraordinary weekend.
Wasn't it?
I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah.
Fremantle dug their way into the top four by winning
Yes.
in a comeback game. Then Western Bulldogs had to come back from behind Hawthorn to get themselves into the finals. And then Carlton somehow managed to get into the 8 and then throw it away in the last few minutes against Collingwood. And then even after that,
Yes.
Fremantle still could make the top four when St Kilda got within 7 points with 4 minutes to go. They only had to get in front and Fremantle make the top four. It was, and Sydney, they would have gone into the top 2 and knocked Melbourne out of the top 2. So it was just the most extraordinary sort of list of ramifications that could happen in all those different scenarios. It was amazing.
So
I don't normally feel sorry for Blue supporters, but I did yesterday. I mean, to go out of the 8 by 1 point after being 24 points up against the Pies in front of, 90,000 fans at the G. That was a bit...
Well, just in perspective for that, Nat, the Western Bulldogs beat Carlton to get the 8th spot by 0.6%
Yes.
in the end.
yes.
They'd got exactly the same number of premiership points and they got in by 0.6%. And to lose in the manner that they did, look, I've said for a long time now, and I think I've said it here, the two key forwards for Carlton were always at some point going to lose a key match for Carlton by their stupidity of kicking around the corner. Now, their coaches have a lot to answer for that because when it comes to the time that you need to kick straight, you need to kick it straight down the middle, they just can't do it. And if Harry Mackay gets it on the left-hand side of the ground because he's a left footer and he can't turn around and kick it around the corner like he likes to do, then he misses. And he did it yesterday in a very easy gettable kick. They need to get those two kids on the park, running straight at the goals and kicking goals, and that's why they pay them the big bucks.
Yep. No, you're right. Here's a stat for you from Sir Swamp Thing on Twitter. VFL or AFL sides to drop out of a final spot with a 1 point loss in the final round. It's happened twice. 1944, Carlton. 2022, Carlton. And in both instances, the Western Bulldogs took their spot. How's that?
I think there might have been another one with Essendon too, but they got thrown out of the finals for other reasons. So.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Dockers now are playing a night.
They're playing Saturday week.
Saturday week. So who are they playing now?
The Western
Western
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. That's an
Okay.
elimination
Okay.
final.
So who's the better team, the Dockers or the Western
Well, the Dockers
Bulldogs?
finished higher.
Yeah, but
The Dockers are definitely better at their best, and
Yes.
let's face it, the 2 week bye could be very useful for them because they now get the chance to rest up some of their key forwards who are sorely lacking at the moment. So that's a massive plus for the Dockers.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
God, that'd be a nerve-wracking game, wouldn't it? Oh,
Well, it is, and that's what that's what makes finals beautiful because the pressure's on, and Fremantle no longer get the second chance, but because they played so well during the season, they get the opportunity to get the Western Bulldogs here rather than in Melbourne. So it's a massive advantage playing here at Optus Stadium. They get the 2 weeks break to get some of their players fit, and I think it's you don't underestimate the Bulldogs because even yesterday when they looked like they could have been down and out, they find a way to fight back, and they've done that a bit over the last decade or 6 or 7 years, and. Yeah, they're a tough opponent, but I would think Fremantle will go in absolute favourite.
well, it must be a very tough, intense time for football fans whose teams are playing at the moment. I feel for them because, I think sometimes it's a better scenario to be like me and not care, and so you're never disappointed.
Or be an Eagle supporter and you've got the rest of the year off. Or a Bomber supporter. Let's talk about
Can I just
that.
make it very... Well, we can, shortly. Can I just make it very clear? I have no sympathy for Carlton. None, zero. I couldn't care less about them. I thought that was funny yesterday after all the Essendon were going through and Carlton get done at the last gasp. Oh, that was funny.
Just loved it. Now, let's talk about Essendon and how they mishandled the whole Ben Rutten thing.
Well, yeah, it's pretty ugly. And
awful.
And they should have treated a good person a lot better than they have, and he was quite right in his post-match press conference to say that he thinks he deserves better because he did.
But at the same time, there's a whole deal of hypocrisy going on out there too. Like, there's been so many people canning him for his coaching style during the year, and then as soon as something like this happens, they all defend him.
Yeah.
And it's just hypocrisy. And you know, football clubs have the right to make decisions on coaches, just like the coaches have the decisions on players at the end of each season. The way that you handle it is the important part, and Essendon have handled it poorly.
Oh, terribly.
Yeah, terribly. But at the same time, they've made the decision that he's not the right coach to take them forward. Most people have been saying it all year, and they've made that decision. So I don't mind the decision as such, but you've got to handle your people better to show that you're a better people person club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I suppose you felt it with Justin Langer and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes the coaches just aren't
That was
showing the
handled
right
appallingly.
respect. Yeah. So
And you know what? It's not that hard to do it easier.
Yeah.
No.
You come out and you say, it's our right to make this change.
Yeah.
We don't think you're the right person to go forward. I'm sorry, but you've done a great job, but we're going to let you go out with dignity.
Oh, we know that the day that we're done here, just we're going to feel a giant hook around our neck and we're just going to be yanked out of the studio.
Yeah.
It's just an ejector.
It's the wolf.
And finally, Steve, happy birthday for last
Happy
week.
birthday, Steve.
Oh, look, thank you. The big 5'3" I am now. I've made it that far. So
You're so grown up.
Well, I'm not sure about that bit, but in age, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you started shrinking in size yet? Or, you know?
You should know, Nathan.
Pussy Willow.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Oh, Millie Rose Bannister. She's a girl on TikTok, and
You
she
know that
thought
familiar
she'd-
name.
She thought she'd share some stuff that she does while she's dining out. And she's not very happy about the reaction she has received.
Well, she asked a question and people
Yes.
answered it.
Yeah, she has a trick from she does at a cafe.
Does anyone else do this, or am I the asshole? Basically, the owner of this joint is pretty rude and mean, so I always bring my own avocado instead of paying like $6 for it, and I save $5 every time, and then I've got a spare avocado to go home with. Hee hee.
So she asked the question right at the start, is she an a-hole? Every single person said, yeah, you are. And she rebutted every single person's reply, and they were going, well, wait, you asked us the question. We're saying yes, and you don't like the answer. Well, there were a lot of people, actually, to be fair, that were defending what she did. And I
I just say,
understand.
don't go out if that's the case. Eat at home if you want to save money.
So her
like that.
point of view is that she's spending $14 on getting some food there anyway. She's bringing her own avocado. She doesn't want to pay the $6 extra. So at least I'm spending some money at the cafe, and I'm just going to save myself a bit by pulling something out of my
But
purse.
where does that stop?
No.
Where does it stop?
So then, I get that point of view.
If you're bringing
But
something that they don't sell,
Yes.
then that makes sense. If you like
Yes.
hot sauce on everything and you go to a cafe and they
Yeah.
don't have hot sauce, go
Yeah,
for your life.
yeah.
But if they've got avocado on the menu, you don't get to bring your own avocado.
All I can do is say, if I was sitting across from that person, would I be horrified? And if I was sitting across from Millie, I would leave the table because I would be so secondhand embarrassed
And also, as
about
if
the entire
cafes
situation.
and most hospitality venues aren't doing it tough enough as it is without somebody just trying to sneak an avocado in.
And she proudly says that the cafe owner's not very nice. Well, then stop going to that cafe. A lot
also,
of people are
maybe he's
bringing
not
up.
very nice because you keep bringing avocados
Yeah.
in.
So anyway, Martha, she says, so firstly, George, he is a cafe owner. Self-entitled much? You're disrespectful. I'd gladly kick you out and then tell everyone in the restaurant biz about you because we're a small, close-knit community.
Yeah.
But then Martha, as a cafe owner, I see nothing wrong with it. You're spending money at their cafe. It's not a loss for them. So that's her point of view. So there's two different sides of the coin here. And I went through all the comments on TikTok and thought, wait, there'd have to be people saying that I do this too.
So if I go round the corner and buy a coffee because it's cheaper there and then take it into another cafe and order breakfast, is that okay?
Well, let's have a listen to some people's examples. Let's have a listen, right? So this girl says, my dad takes his own tomatoes to the club because there is never enough in his salad. So he's buying the salad. He's just adding more tomato for himself.
Extra tomatoes isn't an option on the menu, I take it.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been there. Another chick says, I remember I was outraged because Guzmani Gomez charges for sour cream, so I went down the Coles and bought a container and took it back and put it in my burrito.
No, you're the a-hole.
Right. Another guy says, bruh, what's the big deal? I brought my own soft drink to restaurants. Sorry, y'all have don't money I don't have. Tiffany says, I brought my own cheese slice for my sandwich. So she pulls a slice of cheese out. I'm just thinking you have
I mean,
to be
you're
alone.
walking around
I
with a
could
slice
not be
of
the
cheese in
person
your
that-
bag.
That sits there with the person that pulls a slice of cheese out of their bag and puts it in their sandwich at a cafe. I would just be mortified. I've taken fresh raspberries and blackberries to an ice cream shop. We take our own eggs to the seafood broil restaurant. I took my own cereal to a restaurant because I was pregnant and didn't want to eat anything else. Is that okay if you're pregnant?
Yeah, I think
But then,
you can start to bend the rules there.
well, can we? It's your choice to be pregnant.
Don't go out for 9 months.
Another person says, I do this with soda water, buy it for $1 at Coles rather than $4.50 for a glass at the pub. So someone pulling out soda water out of their bag, is that okay?
No.
Okay. How about this one? I get a coffee and eat my own lunch from my esky every day at the coffee shop.
No.
So don't
Get
buy
your
a
coffee to go and sit in a park.
Okay, what about this one? I normally drink their free water and I pull out my bag of McDonald's and eat it in style.
No.
I used to know a lady who would take her own tea bag to the cafe and ask for a cup of hot water. Yep, no.
For the love of God, what are you saving there? Come on. Seriously.
We want to know. And look, we will tell you if we think you're wrong or not.
Yeah, that's right.
We want to know, what do you BYO? All right? You take it with you when you're out and you pull it out of your bag and you do it in front of people. And other people
public.
with you mortified. All right? We'll find out. We'll see what's
Yes.
right and what's wrong.
Yes.
And
Maybe
if
there's a
cafe
big-
owners or people that work in hospitality, if you've seen this happen.
Or somebody in your family
Yeah.
doesn't. You
I
won't
remember
drop
at the
them in.
cinema years ago, I went, I smell lasagna.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a gold class. And I looked down and there was an old couple and they had a Tupperware of lasagna that they obviously heated up and
Well,
then
if you
came
can't
and
buy it at the candy shop,
they
I'll
were
allow
eating
it.
lasagna.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're discussing people that bring things to restaurants, even if the restaurant sells that very thing.
Yes, we want to know if this BOAO is okay or not. Karen's in Lansdale. Hi, Karen.
Hi, nice Karen here. How you going?
Nice, Karen.
She's a lovely Karen.
I love how you have to state that from the outset,
Oh,
Karen.
sweetheart. Look, they've just taken your name and they've just ruined it, haven't they? Hey, how
I know,
are
it's
ya?
really sad.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not bad, not bad.
All right, what you got for us?
I've got something a little bit weird.
Yeah.
We used to go to the restaurant with a friend called Andrew. He used to order his meal, but he always would bring, so this is his BYO,
Yes.
he would always bring this tiny little plastic bag full of flies.
And he would put it in the meal and then try to get out of paying?
Yes, exactly.
Well,
but
that's
the funny
fraud.
thing- but the funny thing was, he would walk out and drive away in his Porsche.
Oh! It's always
Karen.
the way, isn't it?
Karen, you
I
can't
know,
be friends
it's
with
so
Andrew.
embarrassing.
He's a bad
No,
person.
we're no longer friends.
My dad would be at home right now saying, the rich get richer. That's what he
That's
says.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
No. Do you
He's a-
reckon there's
he's a
people that
monster.
do that nowadays? Put a Band-Aid in there, like going with rip a fingernail off and ram it in their risotto? Oh,
I prefer
God.
it that way.
Oh,
So,
it is
yeah,
actually
it's a
very
texture,
nice.
bit of
The
texture.
Milanese. Thanks, Karen.
Crystal, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Crystal. Okay, we're talking about BYO. What have you got for us?
Well, mine's a little bit different. I'm actually a hairdresser, and it's quite common actually that I'll get people call up asking if they can bring in their own colour for me to apply, but then want a discount.
Wait, there's like a packet colour?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, they're getting it from
Like
the
a rinse.
supermarket and then
Pretty much.
bringing it in and saying, can you put this on my hair?
Are you joking?
And put your name to it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they're like, oh, so because I brought the product in, so do I get it a bit cheaper?
So wait, then what? So what do you say?
Well, you just have to be like, no, because,
Okay, cool.
you don't know what's going to happen,
Yeah,
when that
exactly.
client goes home.
Can I bring in a blueberry-coloured rinse? And can
I bring in
put
my
it
glints?
in my hair?
Oh, Crystal.
And can you do
I'm
it for
outraged on your
$10?
behalf.
That is so funny.
It's not
so
hairdresser
common,
quality
though.
colour.
Oh,
and
my
they're walking
God.
out of your salon with that in their hair.
You know what? Just for a laugh, can everyone ring their hairdresser today and ask for that? That
I
is
know
so
what my
funny.
hairdresser will say.
That is so funny,
Oh,
Crystal.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Talking about this chick on TikTok who started a big controversy worldwide by saying that she saves a bit of money by going to a local restaurant. She orders breakfast, which is, some bread, some toast and eggs, and then she brings her own avocado, so it saves her $6. And so we're just talking about when BYO is okay or when it's over the line.
Hello, Judy.
Hi.
Hey, Judes.
Are you a
Hello
BYOer?
there.
Good.
What are you BYO?
Well, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes when my grandchildren want McDonald's,
Yes.
I'm not a big fan. So I go next door and I get my KFC,
Yeah.
and the children sit and have their McDonald's, and I have my KFC.
So you eat your KFC in McDonald's.
I feel like Ronald McDonald should arrest you for that.
Do you feel guilty while you're doing it?
No, and the staff have seen me do it, and they don't say anything. They just smile.
Okay, so how do we feel about that now? Okay, so Nat, ready? Okay, so let's take it out of the takeaway world because I feel like everything's a little bit looser there. So we're going out for a restaurant, right?
Yes.
So there's a burger place and then there's a pizza place next door. You and Sean want to get pizza. I
Yep.
want to get a burger.
So you
Am
get a
I
burger
okay to
and
get a
take it
burger
to the pizza
and
restaurant?
bring it into the pizza restaurant
Absolutely
and eat
not.
Absolutely
not.
I feel like it's okay. I
You
feel
can
like, I
eat the
feel like
burger in your car.
I feel like it's and FaceTime you. I feel like it's okay if it's Macca's or KFC and stuff. Is that okay? Is that bad?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, also,
'Cause you're spending
kids
money
sometimes
there.
want different things, and
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So it's either it's not that because you're not going to buy the Maccas for yourself.
No, she wants a zinger. What are you getting from KFC? What are you getting from KFC, Judy?
I tend to get a wrap or a zinger
Oh,
burger.
Judy, I'll
Yeah.
kick you out just for that. You're going to go to KFC and get a wrap.
Judy does, and then she eats it in Macca's.
Wraps.
Thanks, Judes. Dawn, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good, Dawny. Okay, are you a BYOer?
Well, we used to. So a long time ago, 20 years ago when I was pregnant, the Zinger Works burger was my thing.
Oh, I love that. I loved that. Keep going.
I know, and they took it off the menu.
Yes, I was enraged.
So were we. We joined a Facebook group that hated it and everything. And everything at that.
Such is your passion. Yes, go on.
So when I was pregnant again with my second child and they didn't have it, I would go in and I would ask the young guy behind the counter if they could just cook up the pineapple and chuck it in there.
Yeah.
And he was all like, oh, Mr. Simpson, oh, Mr. Anderson, and didn't know what to do.
Yes.
So we used to just sort of sneak it in there and just do it ourselves after they'd cooked the burger. But now we still do it. We order the Zinger burger and add the bacon and just take it home and put our own pineapple in
Oh,
it.
that's okay. But can you tell me, have you gone to KFC with your little bit of pineapple, pulled it out of your bag and put it in there?
Yes, I did. When I was with my third child, when I was pregnant 12 years
Okay,
ago.
let's discuss. I think that, okay, so, and they won't, because KFC doesn't have pineapple on the menu all the time, do they? So it's not there.
No,
it's not
they don't.
okay.
I don't think they have it at all
I think
anymore.
if they have nothing, I think that if the thing that you want isn't there and you pull it out of your bag,
that's fine.
Then all power to you, but how embarrassing.
That's fine. It's
My
fine.
defense, I was pregnant.
Fine,
if you
fine.
can't pay for it there, then
If
that's
you can't
fine.
pay for it, they don't have it there.
Yep.
You pull it. You know
Except
what?
for your burger in the pizza restaurant, that's not allowed.
I feel like you need to get up and tell everyone what you're doing.
Yes.
Just so.
and scream loudly, "I'm pregnant. I can do what I want." Thank you, Dawn.
You know what? I'm getting a sense that pregnant women are thinking that the law doesn't apply to them, and I'm liking it.
It doesn't. Jessica's in Gozzy. Hi, Jess.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
All right, Jess. Okay. To you, BYO. What happens?
Okay, so my mother-in-law BYO'd her own KFC bucket to my wedding.
Oh! What was the wedding catering? What did you have that she didn't want?
We had an outdoor alfresco picnic-style wedding, so it was a lunch wedding.
Yes.
So she rocked up at the beginning of the ceremony, prepared, ready with her KFC bucket, ready for the reception afterwards.
Well, I suppose if it was chicken or beef, she wanted chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
So she wasn't happy with the catering? What was the deal?
No, she has a tendency to do this to most events, but I didn't think that she would quite stoop that low at our wedding.
So your mum rocks up with KFC to everywhere like that? 'cause-
yeah, KFCs, pizzas, whatever tickles
so
her
she
fancy
knows
that
what
day.
she likes and she doesn't care what you're serving. She'll rock up and she'll eat what
Exactly,
she
but
wants
that
to
doesn't
eat.
stop her from eating the other food.
Oh, just in case. She
Yeah,
brings a
in
safe-
addition.
She doesn't want to be rude.
No, she brings a safety
That's
food
right.
just in case.
Yeah.
Jess, a bucket's a lot for one mother-in-law. Does she share?
Yeah, sometimes, but people tend to steer clear because we don't know sort of how long it's been
And she
toted
snaps
around
at them.
with her.
Oh, no. So it could have been with her for half a day.
It's fully a greasy bucket.
That could have been a morning KFC for an afternoon wedding. And it's just been in the
Could
car.
very well have
Yesterday,
been.
KFC.
Oh, can I
Yeah.
say, I'm in love with your mother.
Jess, that's
you know
next
what?
level.
Things about your parents like this are the things that you just really hope for in a parent because you're going to remember that and be telling your grandkids from that.
Thanks, Jess.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean Podcast.
Nathan and Sean. No Shawnee Mac today. We're going to soldier on regardless.
So Natalie just told me I've got some meat in the fridge.
That's right. The other day, Harvey Beef delivered some meat to us.
Yeah.
And yours is in the fridge.
What meat?
So some burger patties, some sausages, a couple of porterhouse steaks, a couple of Scotch fillets.
Is my microphone there?
It's really...
What's with my microphone?
It's really tinny.
What does it sound like? And you sound tinny to me. Do we sound tinny?
You're like up really high.
Oh.
Do we sound weird? Call us 1324. No, seriously.
It's nothing to do with the microphones. It's just to do with us.
Do we sound weird?
Ellie, do you think we sound weird? Yes, she does. Okay. All right. Well, we don't have an alternative, so we're just going to have to keep going.
So tinny.
I know, but we don't have an alternative. We just got to soldier on, Nathan.
What do you mean?
The building was on fire and we still work.
Can we not wait? There are people going to call. People are calling us. Let's see if we sound. Let's see.
Hello, Nova. Who's this?
Hey, how you going?
Hi, Simon. Do we sound weird?
No, you sound fine.
Oh!
Thank you for taking the effort to call us.
Thank you. Hey, Simon, that's great. We sound fine. That's all we can ever ask for, isn't it?
That's right. Fine.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, I can really shock you guys sound fine.
Okay, maybe wait there. Hold on, Simon. We'll get the next person on because we'll just see if it's, Simon must be really kind.
We don't want to take his opinion as gospel.
Hello, who's this?
Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Renee, do we sound weird?
Very weird. I've just finished the gym and you sound very tinny and echoey.
Okay, so wait there. We need a third
Simon was
opinion. So
lying
no,
to us.
Simon's saying we sound fine. Renee's saying we sound tinny.
Terrible. Hello, Nova. Who's this?
Christy.
Hi, Christy.
What are your thoughts? How do we sound?
Does it sound?
I think you sound fine until you laugh, and then you sound really good.
I go there.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just won't do a funny show.
No, that's oh, so we're regular. What we do every other day then. No problem.
Thank you all for calling. You know what? Just for getting on air with us and giving us some feedback here on with the chance of First Class and 50K.
Nice. Thanks for your opinions.
Okay, so, all right. So no
Thanks
laughing.
to Simon for sucking up to us even though we sound terrible.
Simon, anytime we're down, we're just going to keep your number on file and have you say nice things to us. That'd be really great. This sounds so bad. I'm not doing it.
Jimmy Carr joining us before 7
we're not
o'clock,
doing
everybody. Well, we can't have anyone funny because if we laugh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to today's No Laugh Show.
Lardo with big energy. It's Nathan and Sean. It's going to go well.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.